everyone, it's Laurie from Quick Scrap Craft, and today's process video is another one for my One Sketch 4 Ways series. I have a playlist that I'll have linked down below so that you can see some of the other ways that I've taken one scrapbook sketch or done a scrap lift and changed it up in 4 different ways to create layouts. So this is where it all began, all right? This was a Chamel Live, and this is what I scrapbooked along with her using the September Best of Both Worlds kit. Basically it has 3x4 photos. So that was pretty easy. I had to cut mine down from 4x6, and then I did back them all with some cardstock. And then the sides are made up of paper strips. So there's a little bit of tearing going on here, and then smaller strips. Like if you have a piece of patterned paper that has strips already, you can just cut those and use them, or you can cut your own. Great way to use up some scraps, or the border strips, the branding strips of paper as well. There's a little bit of mixed media. There's a stencil that we gessoed over the stencil to create this sort of background here. And then it all just kind of comes down to layering of the embellishments, right? So I really liked the way that this looked. So I'm going to show you 2 other ways, and then I'll do the whole process for the 4th one. Okay, so that was number 1. Number 2, you can see I took the kind of main design and I just rotated it. I turned it on its side. So now my paper strips, I still have some of the tearing. They're at the top and the bottom. All right. I still have some paper strips down here as well. But my title is now over here, which is still kind of similar. So let's just compare. Titling is still kind of in the same area. These photos are different. They're still like, one is overlapped from the other. These are popped up on foam dots or foam tape, whichever you have. But they're, rotated so that this is over here instead of over here. But I still have some gesso through a stencil. So I had a Simple Stories apple stencil, and I just did the white gesso over that. And yes, I did wash the stencil. You can see, I will prove it. Wash your stencils of the gesso, because otherwise it dries on it and it is kind of annoying. And then I did my own thing with the embellishments. So just kind of took embellishment clusters in a different way, using some of what was in the September Best of Both Worlds kit. And I think these were from my stash, something passed from my stash. Obviously the gesso is from my stash as well. And this is the kind that I'm using, the Crafters Workshop white gesso, but I know there are other brands out there as well. So, I mean, I don't know if one is better than the other. I don't seem to be having a problem with this, and I've had it for a really long time. But yeah, you do you, buy whatever brand you want. Again, 3x4 photos, 3 of them. Okay. So now we're switching things up a little bit. What? So instead of doing 3 photos, I decided to take this summer cut file from Bella Boulevard. They're pre-cut cut files that you can purchase, but I've still got the same thing going on the side. So some torn paper and some paper strips. Okay. I've still got like a bigger section over here, and then the smaller section where the single photo would have gone over here. I obviously don't have a photo, but I'm going to put a 2x3 size photo right here on this tag. And it's probably going to be a beach photo, because obviously there's beachy things going on here, water, flip-flops. Yes. So again, just kind of comparing bigger section on this side, still with like the paper strips and the things in the back. Okay. Smaller paper strips on this side. And then like the one single photo, a little bit smaller things going on here. I didn't do like a title, because obviously this big cut file thing is the title. But yeah, just the main design is the same. And then I'm just showing you how you can change it up. Maybe you don't have 3 photos. Maybe you want to do like a 4x6 and 2 smaller ones over here. However you want to do it. But like, I just liked that basic design going on the sides with the paper strips. And that kind of, once you get that down, that kind of guides you to try and change it up a little bit, right? I can't get my words out. So now I'm going to do a process video, and that's going to switch to voiceover, doing the same design, but in a smaller size in this traveler's notebook. So stick around. Okay, so here we go with this process video portion of the process video. Thank you guys so much for watching, just first off. And I do have to say that if you are a returning subscriber to the channel, welcome back. If you're new to the channel, I hope that this process video is inspiring for you and that you consider clicking that subscribe button and ringing the notification bell so you don't miss out on other process videos and scrapbook stuff. So this is a little traveler's notebook that I got many years ago from Paper House Productions, and I've done, I think, 2 other process videos for this traveler's notebook. It's vacation themed, using pictures from a little mini weekend trip that my husband and I did back in last August 2021, I think. So it's been a long time. I've had this for a really long time, and I need to get it done. So I'm really excited that this Chamel design has inspired me to do it in the traveler's notebook. So basically, a traveler's notebook, if you don't know, is a smaller kind of booklet thing, journal thing, and the pages are more narrow as opposed to wide. So normally I scrapbook in 12 by 12 size. I don't know the specific dimensions of this traveler's notebook, but obviously it's not 12 by 12. But I'm going to pretend like this 2-page spread here is a full page. So instead of taking one side of the page and trying to do this design, I'm spreading it across the full 2 pages. So I've got the paper strips on the left-hand side, a little bit bigger, and then I'm going to do smaller paper strips on the right-hand side. And I'm sticking them down and then cutting off the edges because that that makes it a little bit easier. I don't measure a whole lot when I'm scrapbooking. So instead of trying to, take measurements and draw lines and cut beforehand, I'm just cutting the edges off, sticking down and cutting the edges off when I'm done. So I'm going to take this little strip that came from, it's kind of part of the branding strip, and I'm just going to stick that down right on top of that. So you can see I've got the main design from the original sketch done. Paper strips on one side, paper strips on the other. So this is super easy. If you get the main design done, it's super easy to kind of go from there and take it however you want it to go. Now I didn't put any paper on the back, or I guess over on top of the traveler's notebook pages. And whatever, you could do that. You could just back the whole page with a pattern paper. I just decided to keep it open because the one side, the right-hand side has like a grid design, which, is kind of cool. It's a cool pattern. And so much of it on the left-hand side is being covered up by the photos and the other pattern paper strips. So I was like, whatever. I don't need to add anything else to that page. So right now I have got 3 vertical photos. They are all 2x3 size that I printed out on my Canon IV mini printer. They are self-adhesive, which is really nice. And I'm just inking the edges of everything with some Distress Oxide in Uncharted Mariner because that's what was on my desk. And then I'm gonna stick things down and kind of keeping it the same as Chamel's as well, where you have 2 photos on one side and 1 photo on the other. Of course, mine are 2x3 instead of 3x4. You could use larger size photos in here depending on what you have. I chose to just keep them keep it with the 3 photos because I did happen to have 3 photos from this day of our trip that were vertical. But you could change it up however you want. So now I'm just adding in a couple embellishments, and I also have like a 2x3 cut apart as well that I added in behind the photos just for something extra. I could have used it to back one of the photos, but I liked that it sort of had like a map on it and it seemed kind of like boatish. And these photos were taken at Boston Seaport, which is really nice, a really nice part of Boston. So I wanted to play up kind of the boat, the maritime feel. So I've got a boat sticker that's also from Paper House Productions. And then I added in a phrase embellishment that's actually from Keep It Simple that I got as part of my September Best of Both Worlds kit. From the August Best of Both Worlds kit, that Simple Stories Let's Go collection sticker book, I added one of the stickers there. So I was saving a lot of the August Best of Both Worlds kit stuff because I wanted to make sure that I used it as I was scrapbooking along with Shamel back in August and doing our summer 2022 vacation photos. But now that I've used up so much of that kit already, I decided that I can start, you know, spreading the wealth and using some of those embellishments on other vacation themed layouts like this one. I just did a little flip through there because I was just trying to, I don't know what I was looking at, but that also gives you a little look-see at what some of the other pages have done. I do need to go back and do a 2-page spread where I add journaling about what was going on this day and kind of like an intro page. So maybe I'll do a process video for that when I get to it. So I've got another little cut apart that has boats on it. I don't remember what collection that was from. I'm pretty sure that was just something that I randomly found in my scrap drawer, which happens, which is always nice. So it's got a boat on it, so I'm going to use that. So actually, it's almost like I have 3 photo elements on the left-hand side and 2 on the right-hand side. So again, you know, switch things up, do them however you want. Then I'm going to add some more embellishments, again, from the Keep It Simple. I think it's Adventure something collection that I got at the Stampin' Scrapbook Expo, and then some more Paper House production stickers and Simple Story stickers. And some of them I am popping up on foam dots just to give this page a little extra dimension. Don't be afraid to do dimension in a traveler's notebook. Obviously, you're already adding a lot of layers with the paper, so the notebook is it's not going to lay flat. So don't worry about adding some extra dimension. That's kind of the fun of a smaller book like this, is that you just kind of like jam it full of really cool things. And then when you like grab it off the shelf, you're like, wow, this is like a massive hunk of a book. And then you can flip through everything and it's fun. So these are the close-ups. I hope this was inspiring for you, that you got to see one scrapbook design interpreted in 4 ways. Let me know in the comments if you have any questions or if you just want to say hi. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye.